I said we were around a historic pivot point going back to 2008 in silver. Today, we had a coil, thought it might break up. It broke down instead, and we are back at that pivot point. It doesn't mean that if we break below it, silver is doomed. That's not going to happen because silver, of course, is money, and money is in great need right now because everything is inflated. But anyway, you see here that this pivot point goes back all the way to the highs of 2008, just around 2150, let's call it that. And the breakthrough of this level back in 2010 led to the top at $50 in 2011. And this was resistance during the bear market in 2013, 2014, resistance again when the bull market restarted at the end of 2015, resistance here. And we broke through it again during the run up to August 2020 post the COVID insanity. And again, it was support back here in 2021, 2022, and then we broke through it, but now we broke back above it and we're testing it once again. So we have 7 points here. You can count 8, 9, but it's a big number here. And yeah, we might break below it, but we might not. Here's why I think we won't. At least we won't significantly. This is the next slide. Gold. This is open interest, the amount of contracts open in the gold GC COMEX contract, and we are down to just about 2-year lows. The 2-year lows, I think, are about 423,000, 422,000, something like that. And this is yesterday's numbers, which is recorded on a day delay by Gold Charts or us. I think we were at 423,000 now, so we're just at 2-year lows in open interest. And lows in open interest tend to correspond to lows in the gold price, not every single time, but it is a good bet that we're not going to go much below 420,000 in open interest. And once the open interest heads back up, that means that interest in the gold futures contract, which the spot price is basically locked in at, is going to head back higher, which is why I don't think silver has enough time to break through the 2150 pivot point with any decisiveness. And I think we're going to bounce from here. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could, but I'm not wrong about the end game. We know that's coming. And now, some interesting things at the COMEX silver pile. First of all, we have eligible supplies, meaning supplies that are not for sale. They are draining out, except at one vault, and we'll go into that in a second. The total COMEX stockpile is now at 288 million ounces, down from 400 around Silver Squeeze. We're now at 112 million ounces drained out of the vaults since Silver Squeeze. But there's something more interesting about this chart. You see here we're at the 2018 level, about October 2018, let's call it. What was going on back then in October 2018? Look at this. We have, this is the SLV vaults, where the silver for SLV is supposedly stored. I was able to go back in the Wayback Machine, and they had a capture for November 22nd, 2018, just around that time, where you see here the red line is the end of 2018, and how many silver ounces were in the COMEX vaults here for SLV at that time. So we have here the JPM New York vault, the bottom row here in the 2018 list, and we have here 126.5 million ounces about. And now February 15th, 2023, you see here, the number is for the JP Morgan New York vault. The rest is London stuff. It's not counted in the COMEX, obviously. The number is 103,176,000 ounces. So that's a difference of about 24 million ounces, something like that. And who picked up those ounces, we don't know exactly, but this is a coincidental number. We have the Delaware vault, which I mentioned in the last silver report. It's still stacking more and more silver, and we'll get into yesterday's movement. The only vault to gain silver yesterday was actually the Delaware vault, and it gained it from other vaults, which transferred actually its eligible silver not for sale on futures to the Delaware vault, the individual retirement account specialty vault. So 25 million more ounces in the Delaware vault corresponds to about 23 million less ounces in SLV. So silver is flowing on net, maybe not directly, from SLV to IRA accounts. This is a very good sign. You see here this final red line just at the end here. I can't really zoom in on these charts because the Gold Charts or else doesn't let me, but it's about, let's say, 36.5 million, and now we're at 40.5 million. So just from the last month, this is about a month, right? Just in the last month, we have gained about 37, 38, 39, about 3.5 million ounces of eligible ounces. These are not for sale, and these are probably going into mostly IRAs into the Delaware vault. There are some big stackers out there that are collecting 1,000 ounce bars. This is today's, February 15th actually, latest data for the silver movements in the vaults of the COMEX. A drainage of 1.677 million ounces, 1.678 million ounces in the eligible, and it was a drain. It was a drain of almost 2 million ounces. But if you scroll up here, well, look at this. This is the received. This is the received column. So silver that was received by vaults and silver that was withdrawn. So withdrawn from Brinks, withdrawn from CNT, withdrawn from JP Morgan, withdrawn from MTB, Manfred, Tordell, and Brooks. But who added? That was the Delaware Depository, about 300,000 ounces. So the IRA stacking